Welcome back, guys, to another tutorial video. So now that I have created my ship request, I can either click on view shipment details, or I can either go to home to return to my suite, because I still have a couple of packages that are ready to send that I do want to send with Seafreight because of the heavy weight of both of these items. However, we'll notice very quickly that unfortunately we cannot consolidate these two packages together inside of one single shipment. And the reason for that is when you try to click on the ship request, it will tell you that standardized and non-standardized items cannot be consolidated together. That means that, for example, in this case, a motorbike is considered by carriers, by Seafreight carriers, as a non-standardized item. And unfortunately, those set of items or any type of other item like hazardous items, like pressurized items or flammable items, dangerous items, any type of items that is considered non-standardized by the Seafreight carriers, unfortunately cannot be consolidated with other items. So in this case, I'll have to create a ship request for each individual item with Seafreight, because in this scenario, Seafreight is still much more affordable than the actual Airfreight, of course. So what we're going to do then here is we're going to unselect this one, which is basically the non-standardized item, and we're going to create the first ship request only for these security boxes. So now that I've unselected this one, I simply leave this checked and I click on create ship request. And again, I can see here the information about the security boxes, all of the information of my items, the dimensions, the actual weight of the items, the volumetric weight that they're going to be taking space inside of the container, in this case, for the Airfreight, for the Seafreight. And of course, the billable weight is the greatest of them all. In this case, the actual weight is much bigger than the volumetric weight. Now that I keep scrolling down, I can again select the shipping address that I want to send it to. I'll keep our default shipping address. And then at the third step, instead of selecting the Airfreight as an option, I'm going to click on Seafreight as an option. And from here, I can basically see that the destination in this case, for our example, is the island of Aruba. I can see the cubic feet that it's going to be taking inside of the container. And again, guys, all of these rates are exemplary. So once you actually create your ship request, you will be able to see the actual rates, and very competitive rates, much lower rates than if you decide to send them with Airfreight. In this case, you'll be able to see the total weight and the freight charges and the handling fee as well. And because this item is much higher than the 2,500 normal EEEI value, there is an additional fee to that as well. And then from here, you'll be able to see the total that you would have to pay now in order to create this ship request via Seafreight. Now down here is very important. Down here, you can also see the cutoff time, which in this case is going to be Monday at 4 p.m. And on this case is going to be the next Monday, which is March 23 in our case. However, if we miss this end date, this cutoff time, this Monday, it will show as the next following Monday as the cutoff time. The sailing day is basically going to be every Thursday of the week, which is in this case will be March 26th, and the ETA will be 4 days after shipping, which will be basically either a Monday or Tuesday. If there is any delay, in the worst case scenario, it would be on the Wednesday for almost all Caribbean islands and Latin American countries as well. If you keep scrolling down, basically down here, you can also see the notifying party. So if the notifying party is yourself, who is the consignee, then you click basically same as consignee. But if you have a broker on your specific island or country, you can click here to select a different notifying party. So they will also be notified on your behalf, including yourself, when the cargo actually arrives at port, and every single step that the cargo is making during the entire Seafreight process. And here, you're going to be filling basically the information in of your specific broker. If it's a broker, basically the business name, the contact name of that broker, the address of that broker, the city, the country, the phone number, and the email. Remember to provide all of this information, guys, because it is very, very important for the Seafreight carrier to know all of this information to be able to not only contact you, but in this case, also notify the other party that is very, very important, which in this case will be your broker, in order to help you move the process faster and either do the pickup or delivery faster once the item arrives. Then as we keep scrolling down, you can also add here more protection or the basically add-ons to your ship request with extra fragile protection or basic insurance or even premium insurance. And then finally, we will have the payment method, which you can either choose the default credit card that you have on file, or you can choose either to pay with PayPal as well. And on the right-hand side, again, we will see the order summary that this is a Seafreight to the island of Aruba, the cutoff time, the sailing time, the ETA, and also here again, I can see basically the total value that I'll be paying right now to create the ship request. If there's a coupon, I can enter it here, and I can also see here that I'll be able to use other loyalty points, more loyalty points basically to get more discounts on this ship request as well. So since I made another ship request just now, my loyalty points went up again. So in this case scenario, I'm going to use, just for fun, again, 1,000 loyalty points, and that adds a 50% discount to this ship request, allowing me to save more loyalty points for other future ship requests that I'll be making as well. Once I'm done with this, I'm just click on checkout, and a pop-up is going to pop up again asking me if I'm confirming the payment of this $240 for this Seafreight shipment. And if I'm sure, I simply click on confirm and pay. And you see here that there's an error. Why? Because we said that there is a different notifying party. So all of this information will be required before you can actually check out. So for the sake of this tutorial, let's assume that the notifier is you in this case. So you will click on same as Consolidation, and then you will click on checkout. Once you click on checkout, you simply click on confirm and pay. You wait a couple of seconds for the system to process, and then boom, there you see payment successful. You'll get an immediate shipment ID, and you can also see the draft bill of lading, which is what you need for Seafreight, the packing list, and your original merchant invoice. And once the original bill of lading is finished, you will also be able to see that in your suite, in your shipping and tracking, and you'll be able to then use that information to track exactly where your cargo is and once it arrives. And your notifying party will also be notified throughout the entire process. And now, guys, we'll continue with how to do the Seafreight for a non-standardized item.